Hey guys, my name's Ellie for those of you who are new to this channel, and I'm a current second year architecture major.
Hi everyone, I'm Elizabeth. I'm a second year biomedical engineering major.
Hi, my name is Chelsea Wynn, and I'm currently a second year architecture student.
How's it going, everybody? My name is Jason Scott, and I'm a second year applied math major.
Hi, my name is Olivia Hansen. I'm a second year civil engineering student.
Hello, my name is Rishi Shah and I'm a third year architecture major.
Hi, my name is Bisma. I'm a junior studying computer science at Illinois Tech with a minor in business.
For this video, we'll be talking about the different on-campus jobs at Illinois Tech, and we'll be hearing the experiences from different student workers.
If you're looking for one job in particular, you can go ahead and jump around using those markers that we have split the video up into, just to make things a little bit easier for you guys.
Just a disclaimer, this is just an informational video about the different jobs. We aren't able to guarantee that these jobs are hiring or that if you do apply, you would get the position. So yeah, with that disclaimer being said, let's get on with the video.
I work at Paul V. Galvin Library as a student assistant at the circulation desk. As a student assistant, my tasks include watching the door to see who comes in and out of the library, answering any questions that anyone might have about where to find a book, how to find a book, directions around the library, or even directions around campus, checking out items such as books, laptops, hotspots, or anything that we might have behind the desk. I actually found out about this job because of all my peers telling me how great the work-life balance was, so I decided to give it a try, and I looked up the job on Handshake, and from here you upload your resume, and then there's also an external link that you can click on, and in this link you'll answer questions on the Google form, questions about your availability, why you want this job, and what experience you've had, and you'll also get another chance to upload your resume and a cover letter. There is not a requirement for previous experience, but it is preferred that you have some sort of idea of how to deal with conflict because this is a customer service job. We also encourage those who have federal work study to apply. One of the perks of this job is being able to balance your extracurriculars and your academics along with the job. You can do homework during the shift provided that the shift isn't busy and that you are attentive to your surroundings. Our supervisors know that school is the most important thing, so they are pretty flexible if you need to drop a shift because of a test, you need to study or class, and there are always other students who are willing to pick up shifts or switch shifts with you. I typically work around 8 hours a week, but you can pick up more shifts or work more or work less. The supervisors are really good with working around your schedule. There are times that the library does get busy, which is during midterms and finals, where many people will come in and be asking to check out books, resources, and laptops. And many people might be coming up to the desk and it might seem busy, but there's always someone else on hand, another student assistant and a librarian there to help. So it sounds overwhelming, but usually you have the help that you need. Honestly, working at the library has been one of my highlights here at IIT because of all the people I've met and all the connections I've made. Honestly, I've become friends with all the people I've worked with on shifts. Just all that time you spend together helping people just creates that little bonding moment, and the whole community in general is just very uplifting and very supportive of you to succeed working there and to succeed academically.
And I am here to tell you about being an RA at IIT. So, being an RA has a lot of roles, responsibilities, and duties. One of those is sitting at the CDA desks, or the Community Desk Assistant desk, at the front of each building, making sure every student taps in, making sure the building is safe, and everything is going well, especially during fire drills that potentially happen. We do nightly rounds when you're on duty, so that means holding a duty phone, making sure everybody's safe on campus, everything is looking clean in the halls, because we want to make sure that you're living in a healthy environment, as well as just communicating overall with your residents and your students. I guess one of my favorite and main responsibilities is just overall advising the floor, your residents. I'm blessed with a great floor here at K6 6th floor, and overall you just make sure you communicate with your residents what's going on. I like to get involved with frisbee games with them, a lot of other things, but for each RA, involvement with your residents and communication looks different. Now, when it comes to the overall dynamics of the job and how I got my job, Office Residence Life, or also known as ORL, they're really great at communicating what you need and how the application process works. Specifically, if you go to the ORL page for the IIT website, you're able to see a whole PDF of the requirements. I really wanted to find a job where I can be involved with the students and help build that family aspect of IIT that we have and bring that tech spirit. So in doing so, I was able to come across the residence advisor job. And in the spring, they do a whole Super Saturday hiring routine. One of the main responsibilities that you have to do is make sure that you also ensure that you're reading through their communications, through their emails. They have information sessions that you have to go to, and then it's the Super Saturday interview that happens. And overall, I really enjoyed the experience. As mentioned before, there are a lot of requirements to be a residence advisor. In summary, you basically just have to be a full-time student here at IIT, be in good academic standing, a GPA of 2.5 or more out of the 4.0 scale, and overall, they're looking for involvement in the community and very passionate individuals. Not everybody is as energetic as me and has that tech spirit, but overall, if you have the passion for it and the drive, then you're definitely looking like a great candidate. The overall experience as an RA is actually pretty awesome. It is the biggest teamwork kind of job you could look for here at IIT, except for maybe playing sports and being on a team, of course. But we have weekly events that we plan with residents and just overall meetings that we plan with each other. We have to do a lot of big monthly ones as well, where we have all of the RAs come together. It's really helpful to have that teamwork aspect, because a new RA such as myself, only being a second year, you're not too sure about some things and you're just learning about it. But however, because you're with that big team and you have RAs that have been RAing for like 4 years, it really helps just bring in that diversity of perspective as well as the diversity of knowledge to help everybody get through the RAing process, especially in times like COVID. A lot of this has been unseen. There's a lot of unknowns. So it's a lot of troubleshooting. It's a lot of figuring out, okay, how can we do things safely? I know I was a big advocate of getting residents outdoors, because I've seen the mental health decline that's happened on every college campus in terms of being stuck inside. And I just thought, hey, let's play some ultimate frisbee, or just play a catch a frisbee, where it's something that can be long distance and you can spread out. So it's all of that creative troubleshooting to not only make sure that your residents are engaged and have fun and you communicate, but so does your whole RA staff.
I work as a teaching assistant for the class CS 104, and this is an introduction to computer science for engineers. This specific class focuses on MATLAB, so it's an introductory course to that programming language. So as for my responsibilities, I'm responsible for grading labs. I also go to the lab sessions and answer questions and help teach if needed. I'll also host office hours, so if they have questions, they can come during that time slot and I can help them. Another way that I answer questions is through email or scheduling a meeting outside of office hours if that time slot doesn't work for them. So I took CS 104 the fall semester of my freshman year, and when I completed the course, my professor reached out to me and asked if I wanted to be a TA. And so the fall of my sophomore year is when I started working. As for the application, that's done through Handshake. I've really enjoyed this job. I've had a lot of fun meeting the different students and getting to answer their questions, and I really like the program MATLAB, so it's been a lot of fun to be able to teach the basics to people that have never learned it before. Seeing the students get really excited when the program works or because they're learning something new for the first time is really rewarding, and it's a lot of fun. I use MATLAB in my upper level BME classes, so it's really nice to teach skills that I'll continuously be using. So just to give some context on the time commitment for this job, so lab sessions and office hours are held once a week for each of those, and also you'll have to grade labs once a week. And as for questions, it fluctuates, because if you have more questions, it'll be more busy. If it's a slower time and there's not as many questions, then you're not as busy. So that just depends. Also, you can always ask other teaching assistants or the professors if you need help with anything, and they're really supportive. If you want to be a teaching assistant, I recommend talking to your professor. I'm not sure the exact grade requirement, but I think it's around either a B or an A. So if you made that in the class, then go ahead and talk to the professor and see if there's an opening for a teaching assistant for that class.
I currently hold the positions of Supplemental Instructor and ARC Tutor here at Illinois Tech. As a Supplemental Instructor, I attend the lectures for the class to which I was assigned. Then, based on times voted on by the students, I host 2 one-hour review sessions in which students can bring any questions about the course. As an Academic Resource Center tutor, I host drop-in sessions on NAC, which is the new platform that our school has begun using this semester. In these drop-in sessions, I'm available for students to be able to bring questions about civil engineering courses. To be a supplemental instructor or an ARC tutor requires no past experience. However, you do need to have received a grade of an A or a B in the course that you would like to become a tutor or a supplemental instructor for. To be able to become an academic resource tutor or a supplemental instructor, you can either apply online or receive a letter of recommendation from a professor whose course you received an A or a B in. Being an ARC tutor and a supplemental instructor at Illinois Tech has been a great experience so far. I have a wonderful support team behind me, even though I typically work alone in my sessions. If you're interested, be sure to check out how to apply online.
So a Hawk Ambassador is a student ambassador for the undergraduate admissions office that interfaces a lot with incoming students or prospective students, as well as their parents. Some of our responsibilities include giving campus tours, speaking with prospective students and answering their questions either via phone or email, and we also help out around the Office of Undergraduate Admissions office in Pearlstein Hall when we are able to go in person. We also help out with a lot of different events for our prospective or even admitted students. So things like a scholarship symposium, Hawk preview days, or Discover days, those are all run and staffed by our Hawk ambassadors or our junior Hawks. So the process of being hired to be a Hawk ambassador isn't anything too crazy. The position that I mentioned a little bit earlier, called a junior Hawk, is basically an intern Hawk ambassador, where you do things like shadow tours, help out with other Office of Admissions events. So after you're a junior Hawk for a little while, you are offered the opportunity to apply to be a Hawk ambassador, usually when our other Hawk ambassadors graduate. So there are open positions available for you. So there was the original application and then interview with either the senior Hawk ambassador or one of our lead staff members in the office. So my experience as a Hawk ambassador has been overall a really positive one. Not only are the other Hawk ambassadors in the office super nice, and you do get to be really close friends with them, but the other faculty like the marketing staff or our visits team or our counselors in the Office of Undergraduate Admissions are also super nice and always willing to help you out. I do really love my job. Hawk ambassadors were a really influential reason for why I came to Illinois Tech, and I love that I have the opportunity to do something similar for other prospective students. It's so fun to, now that we're able to give in-person tours again, to be able to answer their questions, joke around with them, and it's just a really rewarding job all around. The office environment is super friendly, and it's really awesome to be able to be a big part of these incoming students' lives.
I work at the Keating Sports Center, and my job title is weight room worker. So that means I basically work in the weight room that's located on the first floor of Keating Sports Center. So basically what my job includes is to make sure all the equipment in the weight room is being used properly, and all the people are dressed in the proper attire for the weight room. There are no bags and jackets allowed inside the weight room, so also make sure that no one's carrying their jackets or bags inside the weight room, since people tend to trip over it. And just taking rounds every 15 minutes or inside the weight room itself, and like keep all the stuff in its place, such as like people just leave their weights sometimes on the floor and then they just walk out and go home. So we need to make sure that all the weights and all the things inside the weight room are in place and in good condition. So when I got the job, I was actually an athlete. I was in the track and field team for IIT. I had seen the job listed on Handshake, and one of my coaches also told me about the job opening. So I applied through Handshake. It was a really simple application. I just needed to match my resume with the job details, and the requirements for the job were like really basic. Like we didn't need any specific grade in my class or like any past experience or something like that. The only thing we needed was like to know Keating itself, and like like you need to know how Keating works and like what goes where inside Keating. So like I used to work out in Keating all the time, so I knew what weights go where and like how the equipment is managed. So far the experience has been like really good. There are some busy times inside Keating, especially during evening hours, like 6 p.m. to like 9 p.m. It's like really busy. The rest of the time, it's not that busy, and like we as workers can like do our own stuff and like study on our desk itself. But of course, making sure that everything's in place.
I am currently a Campus Life Ambassador. As a CLA, you work at the Welcome Desk in MTCC and the Bog, which is located in the basement of Herman Hall. So at the Welcome Desk, students usually come there to ask questions about the campus, and sometimes you know answers to them. Sometimes you need to redirect them to other resources on campus or other departments. They also come there to get posters approved for organizations or to get equipment rented out, such as pool equipment or table tennis equipment. At the Bog, students usually come there to play games on the PlayStation or bowling alleys. So your responsibility is to rent out those equipment to them, and if a certain organization has a certain space booked for a certain time, you make sure that everything is set up in terms of the AV equipment, lights, mics. You make sure that everything is set up. When you're working at the Bog, you also troubleshoot simple repairs, such as sometimes a bowling lane may stop working, so you have to go into the back and figure out what's wrong with them. In order to apply for CLA, you have to keep an eye out for the Student Life Leader applications, which roll out in November. In order for your application to be considered, you have to attend one info session, which takes place between November and January. There's multiple sessions that take place, but you only need to attend one. There's an application process which has various questions. Some are long, some are short. If you pass that step, you are invited for a group process. The group process has various group activities which take place with other potential candidates. You are assessed by members of the Student Life Leader Committee and also current Student Life Leaders. If you pass the group process, you will be invited for an individual interview with members of the Student Life Leader Committee. If you also pass that step, then you will know which position you received. Results usually come out in April. In order for you to be a CLA, you need to fulfill certain requirements. You need to be in good academic and behavioral standing with Illinois Tech. You also need to maintain a 2.5 GPA during your time of employment, and you also need to be a full-time student. As a CLA, you're usually working by yourself, except for the busy hours when you usually have a coworker working with you. As a CLA, you're allowed to work a maximum of 20 hours per week. Every week looks different in terms of the shifts that get assigned or the hours that you get assigned to. But you can work with your supervisor to assess when you can work and when you cannot. Personally, I love being a CLA. It's always exciting and there's always a new challenge. It can get busy depending on the time of the year or the time of the day. If you're working at the Bog, it depends on how many events are taking place on a certain day, but it's always fun.
We weren't able to include all of the on-campus jobs, so here are some other ones, such as a CDA, Idea Shop Mentor, and working in career services. To get more information and also to find the applications, check out the website Handshake, and also feel free to reach out to the Student Employment Office and Career Services Center.
Thank you so much for watching this on-campus jobs video. We hope it was helpful, and make sure to follow us on Instagram. Bye!